Hello, folks. Welcome to this episode of the Prophet Easy One. Pardon the mess, but hey, it's been a long day. Of course, I got this thing finished now. Man, is it nice. Um, somebody, a commentator on one of my videos recently, I don't know where I'd made the comment, whether it was in a video or on a comment I put somewhere, that I ran into this retired CIA guy, Butch. Butch and his wife, Susan. And, wow, great people. We had some really great conversations. I think they were a little amazed that maybe I knew a lot more than the average person. In fact, I was educating them on some things that they weren't even sure of, and other things they were like, that could be true. But, they seem like good people, uh, very educated. And he did agree that he would do an interview with me. But they just moved to this area. They were trying to settle in. I have friends that are working on their house right now and have been. But so somebody reminded me in a comment, hey, what about those people? I said, oh, yeah, thanks. So I did call them. The wife answered first. And she knew who I was. I went to talk to him. And he was saying that his handlers, first he said handler, told him not to do it because of all the things that were going on right now. Maybe down the road sometime. And then he started talking about handlers. And I love Butch. And him and his wife may see this. She does have my channel. She hasn't looked at anything yet because I've questioned her about it. She goes, yeah, I'm sure there will be some interesting things. But now, we've had some really good discussions. And I would just love to get him speaking. But now, what ended up happening, see, after speaking to him, and he told me all that, then I ran into him and his wife. And it was very interesting to me. She's kind of his handler, and he's kind of her handler. Now, I don't think she's told me directly, no, neither one of them's told me this, that she worked for the CIA. But she works for what do you call it? A missionary organization. To me, that says Vatican, Jesuit, CIA, it's all the same thing. Whether or not she's aware of it, I don't know. I can tell that she's holding back a lot of things. And in fact, when she saw us getting too close to a lot of things with her husband, she said, all right, you guys got 2 more minutes to stop all of this. And even then, she was trying to cut it short. And then when I was having good discussions with her, he would tap on her and tell her, hey, don't say too much. And I could hear what she was saying. She was assuring him that no. And I'm not pressuring him at all. In fact, I told him, when he told me it was handlers, they were stopping him, I said, no problem then. But I'm not going to push on it. I was just hoping you would. I said, someone even made a comment, and a lot of people would love to have something like that. And I explained to him, what we were doing. Well, I ran into him again today. And I intentionally avoided bringing up any of those things, And we've talked a lot about family, all kind of matters. They're very personable people. And, yeah, but I sure would love to get them on the channel. And I'm going to ask that y'all pray about this. I met with them again today, like I said. And before leaving, Butch told me that he really wants to do it. I think right now it's his wife that's holding him back, and I'd love to have her on there too. I don't want to embarrass either one of them. That would be the last thing I'd want to do. And I even offered today when he was leaving and we were speaking. I said, here's what I'd be willing to do. I said, I want it to be a spontaneous interview. And I explained to him how the camera would go back and forth from me to him. And, but I said, if you like, I'll go ahead and think of some questions and have them ahead of time and you can review them if you'd like. But he told me, he says, no, Ralph, he says, you know what? He said, give me 2 or 3 weeks. I said, oh, cool. So, I don't know if he's putting me off or, I mean, he sounds pretty sincere, and there's some things that he wants to speak about. You know, he really doesn't want to speak too much about bad things, but he is willing to speak on that. But he also wants to speak about good things, which I told him I'd be interested in hearing that because I'm not too familiar with too many good things that the CIA have done. And he didn't elaborate much on that. Although I'll tell you, there's quite a few things that we've gone pretty deep on, and yeah, I've gone pretty deep on too, and I see their reactions. But I just want you all to pray. Yeah, pray that this man will come around, him and or his wife. I think she's gonna be a tougher nut to crack. And even says, now he's very educated and intelligent, but he says she's even smarter. And no, they're both, in my opinion, they're both very good, wonderful people. And they were in a career that a lot of the things that they've done that they probably think were good. In fact, I know that they do because they've spoken highly of their bosses, although they've admitted that, yeah, there may have been some things going on that weren't so good. But as far as they were concerned, the things that they did were good. But before I close, let me tell you a little story dealing with something like that. About a year and a half, 2 years ago, I went out of town to do this job. And I ran into this woman. I believe she's 54 years old. Very beautiful woman. Very educated. Spoke more than one language, I know. I can't tell you how many. She was a doctor of some type. And she'd been working for them. And she thought that her boss was just the greatest guy. He was a real humanitarian and everything. And she was being sent around the world. And with her looks and personality and charm and everything, she could have probably sold, ice to the Eskimos. But they were having her give injections to people around the world. And it took quite some time before she realized what was really happening. And how that she'd gone so far as to cause deaths of people. And cause sterilizations of people. And other problems, which she was unaware of. She thought that she was doing good. And when she found out, I mean, man, her conscience really bothered her. So she got out. And she lives in fear to this day that they may come after her. Yeah, she lives in fear now. And she cannot get a job in her field. I believe she's a pharmacist by schooling, if I'm not mistaken. I know it's some kind of a doctor like that. But anyway, she cannot. She's like blacklisted. She ain't going to get a job. They've made sure about that. And like I said, she's scared. And she has 2 sons that both have very high intelligence jobs. And they communicate with her some, although it's not easy for them because of the type jobs that they have. But here, she's living in fear of the people she used to work for. And, her conscience troubles her because of what she's done. Fortunately, I spent, many hours with her. And hopefully I was able to console her some. Well, I'm sure that I did. Yeah, and I was hoping to get back with her, but we never have again. Maybe one day I'll run into her. But see, what happened is all of a sudden she realized that her boss wasn't who she thought he was. That he was really an assassin. And he was out actually assassinating people, but to her and the other people, he was just the nicest guy. Remember, as a doctor once told me, the devil hides behind an angel's face. But yeah, once again, I'm going to ask that y'all pray. I would just love to do an interview with Butch and Susan. Or even if it's just with Butch, although she probably wouldn't allow it unless she was there too. And I think it'd be great because I got lots of questions for both of them. Okay, so I just want to let you know, just a little update on that. And once again, pray for it. I think it'd be a very interesting interview. Okay, until the next one.